We're here because free speech is under attack. We're here because people are being convinced that socialism works. We're here because people are being judged guilty until proven innocent. We are fighting back with facts. This is not a safe zone, so buckle up, Buttercup. This is the raw, naked truth.
Welcome to the Raw Naked Truth. I'm your host, Eric Lopkin, and here's today's news. Parents' rights groups are suing the Biden administration over the Education Department's creation of a new Parents' Council, which the groups argue is politically biased and violates federal law. Fight for Schools, Parents Defending Education, and America First Legal filed a joint federal lawsuit against the Department of Education, Education Secretary Miguel Cardona, and the department's National Parents and Families Engagement Council, which was created last month as a means to find, quote, constructive ways to help families engage at the local level, unquote, according to the Department of Education. The council was launched to facilitate strong and effective relationships between schools and parents, families, and caregivers, according to the Education Department, following more than 2 years of protests from parents demanding more control in their children's education amid decisions made by school boards surrounding the COVID-19 pandemic and critical race theory. Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi, in a recent fundraising email, lied about election forecaster 538's predictions in multiple Senate races, according to 538 founder Nate Silver. Nate Silver's 538 just announced that Democrats are poised to win 6 Senate seats this November, Pelosi wrote in the email, incorrectly saying the site predicts Democratic victories in Pennsylvania, Georgia, Florida, Nevada, New Hampshire, and Ohio. This is straight up misinformation, Silver tweeted in response. We have Democrats as heavy underdogs in Florida and Ohio. Silver's 538 model projects that Republicans have a 54% chance of winning the Senate. The model rates Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Nevada as toss-ups. The election forecaster says that Republicans have a 90% chance of victory in Ohio and a 94% chance in Florida. Of the states Pelosi mentioned in her email, New Hampshire is the only one that 538 predicts will stay blue. The National Education Association put forward a resolution that would see the term mother be changed to birthing parent in contracts to promote inclusivity. The resolution, or new business item labeled NBI 63, was one of many proposed that could be voted on by the Representative Assembly this week. Using the contract language, members need not worry about how a Board of Education / solicitor defines maternity leave, mother and or father. The language is an inclusive reflection on how LGBTQIA plus members build families, according to the resolution. In the end, NBI 63 was not brought to a vote, but its impact drew a lot of attention and criticism. The NEA is the K-12 cartel, Tiffany Justice of Moms for Liberty said. Parents and children are being held hostage by the NEA and its woke agenda, according to Justice. We believe in American teachers, and we don't believe that the lack of focus that the union has on children is represented, she said. The U.S. economy added a better-than-expected 372,000 jobs in June as unemployment remained at 3.6%. The largest gains were in professional and business services, leisure and hospitality, and healthcare. The labor force participation rate, the share of the population that is working or looking for work, slipped to 62.2%, and the rate for workers ages 25 to 54 declined to a 4-month low of 82.3%. The number of Americans not in the labor force rose by about 500,000 to the highest level this year. The drop in the participation rate corroborates many complaints about worker shortages and an inability for employers to fill millions of open positions, a recipe for sustained wage pressures. While a number of companies did announce plans in June to cut staffing levels, layoffs have so far been largely concentrated in technology and interest rate sensitive sectors like housing. More than 5 million barrels of oil released from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve have been diverted to European and Asian nations instead of U.S. refiners, according to reports from Reuters. Biden has ordered the Department of Energy to release a total of about 260 million barrels of oil stored in the Strategic Petroleum Reserve over the last 8 months to combat record fuel prices hitting American consumers. President Biden needs to remember that our strategic energy reserves are for emergencies, not to cover up bad policies. America needs to flip the switch and increase our capacity to produce and refine oil here at home, said House Energy and Commerce Committee ranking member Kathy McMorris Rogers. Now is not the time to use our strategic stockpile, she said. That's the raw naked truth. You can catch every episode of The Raw Naked Truth at xvadio.com/podcasts, the Apple Podcasts app, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, Amazon Music, and wherever you find podcasts. We'll see you next time.